Hi, Deepa Rani Shekar from Transform Life Programs Love and Light. I love to tell you stories. Hope you like listening to stories. I am going to tell you yet another story today. This story goes something like this. There was a king who loved to call the Brahmins, honor them, and feed them food with reverence. This was his habit from a long time. As he was doing this, it so happened one fateful day the food was being prepared in large numbers in the king's courtyard. At the same time, there was an eagle which was taking a snake. You know, snakes are the food of eagles. So the eagle was having a snake in its clutches and flying across the open yard where food was being prepared. To defend itself, the snake shot a sprout of venom, hoping that it could reach the eyes or the beak inside the beak of the eagle, and the eagle would die and the snake can escape. Unfortunately for the snake, this did not happen. Instead, the venom fell on the food that was being prepared for the Brahmins. And then the snake probably was eaten up by the eagle. Coming back to the feast the king was providing for these Brahmins on this auspicious day, the king was unaware of what happened. The cooks did not know what happened, and the Brahmins were served this food which was poison. So, the result I need not tell you, they were killed en masse. All the Brahmins who partook of the food in the king's feast that day were killed. So the king was greatly perturbed because it's the host's responsibility to take care and protect the guests. In this case, it had not happened. He was very perturbed and upset, and he was very worried and felt extremely sorry. But death is something which is irreversible. So that is one part of the story, and the other part was where the chefs, the cooks, the ones who served the food were also felt extremely guilty for what had happened, though they were not consciously responsible for this. So they all did some rituals to absolve themselves. They prayed for the souls of the Brahmins, whatever they did, whatever they could, whatever was in their awareness, and time flew. There was one question that karma, the lord of karma, fate or destiny, whatever you call it, was confused because he did not know where to write the account of this grave mistake that had happened where so many Brahmins were killed. It was a great sin to kill a Brahmin, and here they were killed for no fault of theirs. So he was very, very confused as where to put this account of sin, this karma, where has it got to be written off. So he just kept it pending because he did not know what to do. And after some time, the dust died down about this incident, but still it was there in the memory of people, the king and the chefs, everybody. There was another set of Brahmins who were passing by this kingdom, and they wanted to visit the king en route their pilgrimage. But they did not know where the palace was, how to reach the palace at the shortest time and route. So there was an old woman sitting there tying up wood for firewood. So they asked her, how do we reach the king's palace? We would like to visit him before we move out of the city. So this old woman gave them directions to reach the palace. At the same time, she said, but beware, do not eat at the king's palace. And the surprised Brahmins asked her, why so? She said, you know what? The king calls people, feeds them and kills them, poisons them to death. And the Brahmins, getting scared, they ran away without visiting the palace nor meeting the king. So, as the woman said this, and as the Brahmins left, Karma told his assistant, now write the entire karma in this lady's account, in this old woman's account. Nyaya or justice, who also prevails in the court of karma, asked Karma, how is this justified? So Karma said, see, the first point is the king meant well, though it did not turn out well. He is not guilty and he has not drawn pleasure in killing the Brahmins. The cooks were unaware. As they served, they were not knowing the fact that the food was poisoned. Neither have they felt good about this act of so many Brahmins getting killed. So I cannot write it in the account of these two people. And the eagle, its predatory nature, it was just going ahead with its food. And it was again not aware that the venom released by the snake will fall on the food and kill these many Brahmins. And the eagle is probably not even aware of such an eventuality that happened. Same with the snake. The snake was only releasing the venom in self-defense. So I cannot write it in the name of any of these four people. So then why it has to be written in this old lady's account? Because she is the one who drew pleasure from it. She was in no way connected to it, and without knowing facts, whether the king was guilty or not, whether the cooks did it intentionally or not, she was putting a huge blame. She was bad-mouthing the king and the chefs. So she was drawing pleasure from the incident unnecessarily. So it is very valid to write it in her account of karma. So this is how karma works, if I have to give you an example of how it works. Now, bringing the same scenario back to what is happening today. The whole world is going through a lot of turmoil. There is fear, illness, death, and panic everywhere. Anxiety. There is also boredom and irritation because most parts of the world is locked down. And for every directive the government brings up, if we are just questioning it without doing much, without knowing the seriousness of the situation, without looking at the larger welfare of the people, if we are thinking only of what is happening in my house, whether I am getting my pay, whether my business is down, whether I can have my function which was supposed to happen in a week's time, whether that happens, if we are thinking in that small mindedness, then what is your karma in the whole of this pandemic situation? Think about it, friends. Think big, think broad-minded, and do not restrict yourself to think in a very mean way. This is a time where we have to stand up for each other as one whole, united, and fight against a common enemy, the pandemic. Let us not bring it down to something which is going to pull us down in our karma. So what is your karma? You have to decide, and that will be decided based on your sanskar. What is the sanskar that was given to you? What is the sanskar you picked up is what decides how you are going to choose your karma. So be good, do good, stay home, stay safe, follow the directives without questioning for the sake of questioning. Thank you for joining me. Deepa Rani Shekar from Transform Life Programs, Love and Light.